Long ago, in the vast and golden lands of Africa, people sat around their fires in silence. The world had no stories, no legends, and no tales to share. The nights felt long and empty, and laughter was rare. Far above, in the Sky Kingdom, Nyame, the powerful sky god, kept all the world's stories locked away in a magnificent golden chest. The chest glowed with divine energy, but it remained hidden in his floating palace, beyond the reach of humans. One day Anansi, the clever and mischievous spider, grew tired of the dull world. He longed to hear stories, to weave them into his web and share them with the people below. So he spun a strong thread and climbed up into the sky, until he reached Nyame's shining palace. With a deep bow, Anansi spoke boldly. "Mighty Nyame, I have come to ask for the stories, so I can bring them to the people." Nyame laughed, his voice rolling like thunder. "You, tiny Anansi, wish to own my stories?" "Yes," Anansi replied with confidence. Nyame stroked his long beard. "Very well. If you can complete 3 impossible tasks, I will give you the chest of stories. Bring me Omoboro the hornets, Onini the python, and Osebo the leopard." Most would have trembled at such a challenge, but Anansi only grinned. "I accept," he said, already forming a plan. Anansi made his way to the great trees where the hornets built their nest. He filled a calabash with water and poured it over himself until he was soaked. Then, holding a large leaf above his head like an umbrella, he called out, "O wise hornets, look at this terrible rainstorm. Your nest will be washed away. Quick, fly into my gourd for safety." The hornets, believing Anansi, buzzed inside the calabash. With a swift motion, Anansi sealed it shut and carried it away. Next, Anansi went to the riverside, where Onini the python lay basking in the sun. Anansi began muttering to himself. "What's wrong, Anansi?" Onini asked. "My wife and I had a debate," Anansi said slyly. "She says you are shorter than this palm branch, but I say you are longer. Can you stretch out so we can measure?" Proud and eager to prove his greatness, Onini stretched beside the branch. At once, Anansi tied him tightly with vines. "Now you are measured and captured," he laughed, dragging Onini toward Nyame's palace. Finally, Anansi approached Osebo the leopard's cave and dug a deep pit, covering it with leaves. When Osebo stepped forward, he tumbled into the hole with a growl. "Oh, Osebo, how unfortunate," Anansi said. "Let me help you out." He lowered a strong vine, and as Osebo climbed, Anansi quickly tied the vine to a tree. The leopard dangled helplessly in the air, realizing too late that he had been fooled. With a triumphant grin, Anansi carried Osebo to Nyame's palace. When Anansi stood before Nyame once more, he presented the hornets, the python, and the leopard. Nyame, impressed by Anansi's cleverness, nodded. "You have earned the stories," he declared, handing over the golden chest. Anansi spun a massive web from the sky down to earth, carrying the chest. As he opened it, glowing stories flew out like fireflies, floating into villages, forests, and deserts. That night, people gathered around fires, listening intently as storytellers shared Anansi's tale. Children laughed and clapped, while elders nodded, knowing that wisdom must be passed down through generations. From that day on, Anansi became the first storyteller, and his tales spread across Africa and beyond.